Hey, what's going on? This is Mike. I recently used AI to help me create a form wizard based off of a W4 text document. My goal is to make a really nice experience for an end user that has to populate this document. AI actually did a pretty good job. This is the form that AI helped me create, and you can see as a wizard, pretty easy. The only thing that is really missing is some validation. So at this point, I'm going to have AI help me craft some validation. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take each step, and you can see here's the full step. So I'll just go ahead and copy just this out. And over here, we're going to use GPT-3. So I've constructed an initial prompt. Write a controller to validate the form fields in VueJS and ensure that each field is required. I've pasted my form data in this first step. And now I'm going to go ahead and let AI respond. I think this is a pretty good start. So let's go ahead and just add this. So now I've hooked this in. I've linked up these buttons here to handle active step. And navigating forward will increment this positively. Going backwards will decrement. So now, before it does so, it should validate this form. So let's take a look. So with the form validation, it's testing some initial constraints, and then it's popping up an alert. So next is checking the length of the social. So that looks pretty good. And finally, it's checking the marital status. I think that we could do a little bit better. So what I'd like to do is take this initial response right here and use toast messages where we can. We'll open up another playground. And we'll say rewrite validateForm to use Buefy's toast component instead of alerts. Just make sure this looks good. We can see that we're getting close to the end. So what I'm going to do to make this a bit easier is we've seeded it with enough information that I don't need this first block anymore. I wanted to keep this first block just to make sure that it understood that I was using the Buefy CSS framework. So at this point, we should be able to continue the run. And this should be pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and take this and we'll pop it in here. We'll get rid of this one. All right. So let's go ahead and see how this works. Great. Please make sure that all fields are filled out. So of course we don't want it to continue. So let's go ahead and just block this right here. So we'll just say if this validate form is true, then we'll run this here. Okay, now let's try again. There we go. Please make sure all fields are filled out. Mike codes. There we go. Cool. Please make sure all fields are filled out. 123 Fake Street. Nice. Pretty good, pretty solid. All right, so let's go on to the next section. So actually what I'm going to do now is let's go ahead and just call this step 1. So we'll say validate step 1. Step 1 is valid. All right. And now we'll jump over and we'll do the same thing for step 2. So I think that, so at this point, I think that we have enough to train AI to actually work just a bit more efficiently for us. So what I'm going to do is just completely revise my prompt. I'm going to use this entire block. So these are the next 3 steps. And I'm going to attempt to get AI to create the validation for these steps here. Before I do that, I'm going to show them how we validated step 1. I'm going to actually seed it with just a little bit more context. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take step 1 here. There's quite a bit of information inside that I don't want to include. So I'll just remove all of these fields. And here I'll just put a comment. And let's give it the prompt. So we're going to say, create a validation controller for a Buefy form in VueJS for steps 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, and 4. We'll give it a name of each function. The function names should be 2, 3, and 4. I think that's it. So now we'll pick up where we left off. We have our step 2, 3, 4, and we'll go ahead and modify this. 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so these are all linked up. Haven't really looked at it beyond that. Let's check it out. Okay, so this one, Mike codes 123 Fake Street, some city, California 90210. Okay, so next, please select the valid option. It's annoying that it popped up there, but not horrible. Yes, no, please select a valid option. Have to change that. Oh, can't even go back. That's great. Cool. Let's go ahead and set it up so that we can go back if it's negative. We'll just return here. Can we go back? Beautiful. Oh, that's pretty nice. It caught that condition. Let's check that out. All right, so if multiple jobs is yes, or if it's not yes or no, then, okay, so pretty straightforward. So dependent, so that was the one that we were looking at. So if the, let me see, hold on. Oh, cool. Dependence error is false. So if dependence is yes, and the total credits is not set, then enter a credits amount. That's pretty cool. I actually wasn't expecting it to catch that condition on the form, but it did. That's great. And then step 4, we didn't really try step 4. Nothing. It's pretty good. I think that worked pretty well. I'd say as an assistant, AI did a terrific job. In terms of what I'd have to do myself, it basically would have been the same thing. I would have gone through the same process. I would have figured out how to validate a component, get happy with that, and then I would just rinse and repeat. So where AI really shines here is that it lets me focus on other things. Form validation, it's easy, but it's hard work. It's tedious. So AI can definitely help you create your forms. It can help you validate your forms. And I think that it can actually even do it better than something like GitHub Copilot. So far, GPT-3 and OpenAI's Playground has been super helpful, where you can almost tease out exactly what you want. So the saying would be garbage in, garbage out. With GPT-3, you can better craft the responses that you like to see based off of how you revise your input or how you talk to AI. So that's pretty cool. I use AI every day, and every day I find that I'm getting better at how I can use it. I'm finding different ways to use it, and it's actually making my life a ton easier. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and tell me what you think in the comments. Have you used AI to better assist you throughout your day? How have you been able to save yourself some time using AI? I'd love to know. Thanks.